Our first step in creating our mask will be to pre-mix our xanthan gum and glycerin. The glycerin will help to wet the xanthan gum so that it is more compatible with the water. The xanthan gum will act as our water phase thickener. Now that the xanthan gum has been fully wetted by the glycerin, it can be added to the water. This will thicken the water, so the propeller speed should be increased. Now we will add the first of our two fillers into the water phase, colloidal kaolin. This will also help to opacify the final formulation and make it milky white. And now the second of our two fillers and opacifiers will be added, bentonite. Now that our water phase is completely put together, we will continue to mix it and heat to 70 degrees Celsius. We will also begin to mix our oil phase and heat that as well. The first ingredient in our oil phase is GChem CTG, which is caprylic capric triglycerides. This is going to be an emollient in our final formulation and help keep the skin moisturized. Now we will add GChem GMS 165 to the oil phase. This is going to be our emulsifier, which will help lower the interfacial tension between the oil and water once we add the oil to the water phase and create the nice small droplets, which will be stable. Now we will add some cetyl alcohol to our oil phase. This will help to thicken the final formulation and will also act as a dry skin soother. And now the final ingredient of our oil phase, stearic acid, will be added. This will also act as a thickener like the cetyl alcohol. Now that both the oil and water phase are uniform and have reached an internal temperature of 65 degrees Celsius, we will begin to add the oil to the water phase. This will thicken the water, so the propeller speed will need to be increased to ensure that it is mixing uniformly. Now that all of the oil has been added to the water, we will continue mixing while allowing the formulation to cool to room temperature. Now that our mask has cooled to room temperature, we can begin to add the final three ingredients. The first of which is the first of our technologies, SalSphere Severe Acne Relief. This is a single system that addresses multiple symptoms associated with acne. It contains salicylic acid for exfoliation, benzalkonium chloride and green tea extract for antimicrobial benefits, peptides for skin rejuvenation, vitamin C for its antioxidant properties, and cornstarch and zinc sulfate for sebum control. Now we will add a small amount of Euxyl PE 9010, which is our preservative. This will help to ensure that no bugs grow in our water phase. And now we will add our final ingredient, SalColorFX White to Black, by hand. The reason we are adding this by hand and not with a propeller is because this ingredient is an encapsulation of one pigment inside another, and if we mix this with too high shear of mixing, it will break that encapsulation and release the black pigment before we actually want it to be released. So once this has been completely mixed by hand and it is uniform, it should be allowed to sit, and the pigments will hydrate overnight and it will become completely uniform. This is our SalSphere Severe Acne Relief Mask with SalColorFX White to Black. As you can see, it is quite thick due to the cetyl alcohol and stearic acid within this formulation. And here it is in a jar. Only a small pea-size amount is needed, and then using one finger it is spread around in a circular motion, and as you can see, it goes immediately from white to black due to the SalColorFX.